Welcome back to NSP Podcast. I'm your host, Master Splendor. We got Leonardo, we got Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. And we are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And today's topic, we are talking about being the only child versus having siblings. Now, I want to bring it up. How did you guys grow up? Talk to me.
Shit, how I grew up first, it was me, my sister, my brother, and my mother in an apartment, for real. But my brother was in and out, prison. So really technically me, my sister, and my mother. I'm the youngest out of four, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm the youngest out of four, so I ain't never had the experience of being the only child. I had the experience of being the youngest one, and I got treated like royalty as a baby, so I was a little spoiled coming up and everything. I didn't have no issue. I actually wanted to be with my older siblings as I was coming up, just to see what they was doing. But you know how it be when you don't want your little siblings around all the time because you want to do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And the age gap different, so I was always used to being by myself because I would play the game, and the game would just keep me entertained for hours and hours and hours. And at a point in time, I got to, I don't give a fuck what they doing. I'm just about to go play the game, chill, kick it. And I just learned how to be by myself.
So you feel like you got the best of both worlds. You got this, some little bit, little how to be alone. I feel that.
Yeah, I think that's one of my greatest gifts. Like I don't have no problem with being alone. So I know how to.
Like that, I think was it you, both of us said that shit last week. Like we was we got older siblings, but we was raised kind of like the only child. I think it was Day said that shit or something like that.
It was him.
Yeah, one of y'all said that shit. So yeah, I kind of was the same boat. I mean, I had older siblings and in prison, out of prison, or whether or not they was out, but we just didn't hang because of the age gap. And since the age gap was so big, I might have lived in the county, they lived in the city, or what I mean, we was always distance apart, but it was always love. But I was never, like I said, I was never lonely because I had friends, I had people that I always hanged out with, cousins, these niggas, you know what I'm saying? So that's what filled that void eventually. But I definitely I would have cherished that relationship a little better if it, if they was around and we had that opportunity to build. Because I think it's not vital, but say if you don't got a father figure in your life, your big brother can be your father figure if that that ever happens to that extent, or big sister. They can fill a void if they're not there. Yeah.
So, Baby D, how you grew up, man?
Similar to what Chauncey was saying, I got an older brother, but he's 7 years older than me. So it was always a big age gap, so we didn't really hang out as much. And then being as though we got two different mothers, he always lived with his mother, and I spent time either living with my mother or with my father. But we didn't really spend a lot of time together growing up. And that bothered me, coming up, just because I've seen for lack of better words, just watching movies, TV shows, having different experiences with people around me, just seeing those types of relationships that people have with their older siblings. And I longed for that, for lack of better words. I wanted those types of relationships. But I had those, it kind of switched a little bit and kind of filled like them two, for the most part, filled those voids. Just because, like Chauncey said, I have an older brother, but I was raised as an only child up until I was probably 10, 11 years old. But then once I hit 10, 11 years old, us three was inseparable. It was either only we was together every weekend. When I was 12 years old, I moved in with Tyrell and his father and my aunt. So we was raised like brothers. So for me to still not have that, not have my brother actually in my life the way I wanted him to, but still have him and him actually like those brothers. We're cousins, but I say it all the time. When people ask us, we're cousins, I look at these two like they're my brothers because we were raised like that. We were always together. We were actually brothers. So they fill that void for me. So it doesn't really hit as hard, and I feel like I would probably be a little bit more lonely, or like probably had those lonely tendencies if it wasn't for them two.
Yeah, I
respect that.
Certain things can make you like build you to mold you, be an introvert like versus an extrovert, and like certain shit like that, you know, being sociable or antisocial. Like if I don't know, like I would wonder how it would be if I didn't meet them, or and like, my big brother was still in prison. Like that might have changed my whole demeanor.
I wouldn't fuck with niggas at all.
Yeah, life would have been completely different.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
and that's that's why, like he said, I'm blessed to have y'all too as well, because that shit you never know, man.
Yeah,
like
I
I probably
respect
yeah.
How you grew up, Shay?
So I grew up as an only child.
Okay.
I do have a sister. She's
Spoiled. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I ain't gonna say that. People was strict too, so.
I have so I have a younger sister. She's 5 years younger than me, but she's not my mother's child. So she and I didn't grow up in the house together. And then we spent time together in our childhood, but like not as much as like, you know, if she was my mother's child, because she wasn't in the house with me type shit. So yeah, it's funny because like I feel like me and T had different experiences because T was the baby. So he knew what it was like to have brothers and sisters, but he's like, oh, I'm fine to be alone. Like, fuck them niggas, I got the game. I like distinctly remember being younger and like asking my mother like, I have a baby. Like I want a brother and sister. And then Lord, be careful what you ask for, because somewhere around 2017 I gotta tell you these niggas here.
Gang.
So
Now you see.
and it's like these are like the brothers like I never had wanted, but you know.
Damn.
Say no. Y'all say it to me every time. One of y'all said it on my birthday.
I never said
I
that.
said that shit on her birthday.
I ain't say that.
The older sister that I never wanted.
That's always needed. Okay.
I
But no,
I
like
would
on the
never say
real. But like yeah, growing up, I used to actually I'm not gonna say I never wanted a younger one, but I always kind of wanted either my age or older ones. And like how you say, like I always used to wonder, like, man, I wonder if I would be different. Like, I'm older than y'all, but like imagine if y'all were my older brothers and like we grew up in the house together. I feel like I would be a different type of person.
You would.
I might fight niggas a little bit more because I'm
You
sure they
would.
would have beat me up all the
You
time.
would.
Aggressive as shit.
Yeah.
You damn sure
And
would.
a lot of my friends who are aggressive that are females like have
Yeah.
older brothers. Like you always was fighting on
Good
something.
job,
Or
fellas.
even sisters.
Good job.
You grew up in the house fighting all the time, so you ready
And they
for
know the
whatever
game.
with niggas and all of that.
know the game.
Period. So
Right.
yeah, like, you know, but the only difference between T and I was like he was cool being
Yeah,
alone.
that too.
I wanted them in the house with me, like, where y'all at? What y'all doing? Which is how we became like I said, like obviously we've always been cousins. But like when I tell you I will blow their phones up and I'm like, what you doing? I'm ready to come over there.
You know what I told her?
You got snacks?
We were talking about this story earlier.
Nigga, earth
She gonna hit me asking for a fucking snowball. Go get your motherfucking boyfriend for that. That is not cousin activity.
That is crazy.
That is a
I
boyfriend
asked that
activity.
man, did he want to go get a snowball? And he
Fuck
told
like
me to
getting
get a
marshmallows
boyfriend.
on a snow cone with you, motherfucker. Go get your motherfucking snow cone.
Cause
with
we
your
just
boyfriend.
can't bond.
We can bond.
No, it's cool.
We can go do
I
something
bet
to
you if I
bond.
told you I was ready to come over there and roll up, you'd be like, alright, cuz, pull up.
Roll up.
Right. Roll that shit up.
But you
like
can't
the
get a snowball.
split, and we
So
can
we
bond.
can't go get a snowball.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas is crazy.
Then we go get some ice cream.
Nigga.
With the ice cream trip. We
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Fuck
What's the
snowball.
difference? Put some marshmallows on top of your shit.
Ice cream a
Like
little different.
I
Ice
don't
cream
really-
a
I don't
little
really do
different.
So we can get ice cream, but we can't get a snowball, Chauncey?
Ice cream.
You know what? You know.
We
gotta
can get
go out
ice
your
cream,
way
but
to
we
go
can't
to
get
a
a snowball
snowball
Chauncey.
stand. You get what I'm saying?
You gotta go out your way to get ice cream.
No, you know what the ice cream is.
7-Eleven
Yeah, you
right
go to
there.
ice cream. Get ice cream
2
somewhere.
pints, bye.
You gotta go out your way to get a couple pumps on the snowball machine.
And the good ones too. They only putting it right all the juice in
Yeah,
that
like,
motherfucker. Shit tastes like ice.
You know what? Okay.
Gotta find that hood spot on the corner with a snowball. I'll go get a snowball when you did it.
There's a snowball stand in my house.
He said,
He said it on live.
He said it 'cause the camera- Exactly.
It's just that day.
It's a bomb snowball stand by D House. D usually the one I call. I don't know where you was at that day, but if for some reason I called this trying to bond.
It's just the day of time. Like,
He
I
ain't
don't know what I
want
was
y'all.
doing. Fuck, I look like getting a snowball with you at this point. But I don't know what I was doing. I really
It's
don't.
respectful.
But I love you though.
That's disrespectful.
I love you though.
So to give y'all a perspective about myself, I grew up as an only child. But I do have long lost siblings out there.
Huh?
I got 2 brothers and a sister.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nice to know.
Because
You gotta find them.
right. So my father that is my father that you guys know. He's not my biological father, but he's been there ever since I was alive in the world.
Learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day,
You
right?
look just like that, man. That wasn't
Isn't it crazy?
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So yeah,
That means your mother must
I
have a
kept
very
that- I kept
specific
that
type
in for
that
so
you look
long.
like the man that's actually not.
I kept that shit in for so long, yo. Yeah, I've never said nothing to him about it because I never cared to say nothing. But I'm happy he said that to y'all.
Wow.
So for me though, I've heard that I wanted a little sibling when I was little. I do not remember, but I'm glad I grew up only child because I
Getting
got
emotional,
everything I
this
motherfucking
motherfucker.
wanted in life. But I felt like I was cool. But to piggyback on what you was talking about being introverted versus extroverted, and somehow it's how you grow up, it can mold you. I feel like from me growing up as only child, that's what makes me more introverted.
Indeed.
Because I have extrovert tendencies. I say now I'm not extroverted at all. I'm very introverted. I like to stay to myself, be to my own self because that's just how I grew. And that's how.
Hey, would you call yourself an introvert? I'm sorry,
Hell
I didn't mean to
no.
cut you off.
I can turn it on and turn it off.
But you more of an extrovert than you are an introvert.
Yeah, I can turn
Meaning-
it on.
Everything is different. Cause like I'm
an
completely extroverted. I
I'm an
love being around
introvert.
people. Company, come on, come over. I'm coming.
Depending
like
on mood I'm in. I'm in the mood.
I
for
love
people,
that.
yeah.
No, see,
Fuck
yeah.
out of here.
I don't think we in the same boat because when it comes to being extroverted, you know how to turn it off. I know how to turn it off, but I'd rather be around people or around somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just me and him, I can do that. Like just sit around this nigga, we can smoke blunts and just chill.
Right.
Like that's.
As long as it's not
I don't
social.
know if that's an introvert with your mans or as an extrovert just in general, but yeah. But it be times where I just don't want to be around people, but I'll be around my homeboy, or I'll be around him, or I'll be around you. You know what I'm saying? Or I could be around y'all, but not want to be around a bunch of other people. You know what I'm saying? So is that being extroverted? I'm introvert. I don't know.
It just depends on my mood.
Right.
It's
Some
there's
people
like
could be a mixture.
there's a word in the middle called an ambivert, and I think
There's a word for that shit?
yeah.
Teaching me something, teacher.
And an
Teach.
ambivert is an ambivert, I guess, is the term for when you're both.
you on
Like
the fence.
if there's like only certain people who you extroverted with, but you're generally introverted, or
Yeah,
vice
I'm definitely
versa.
that. Because
Yeah.
like new people, you ain't getting
Facts.
shit out of me.
Especially like on the
I'm
job,
drunk.
like I feel like my coworkers, especially like when I first get a job, they'll have like one impression of me, and then it's like, oh, you might start following me on social media, you might go outside with me, and it's like, yo, well, you
That's
like
really how
this,
it
and
be,
I'm
bro.
like,
Facts.
yes,
Because I look rugged at work. I don't give a fuck what it is. I let my hair grow out. I don't care. I ain't wearing no hat. Fuck it. But when I'm outside of work, I like a whole different fucking person. My coworkers say this to me all the time. But yeah.
So what y'all feel about age gaps? You feel like that is a big
Hell yeah.
part in your
Hell yeah.
relationship with people?
for sure.
Because
How
I
does it
don't.
affect the job?
Let me put something in perspective for y'all. Your parents were a different person when. I ain't gonna say different, but when they were younger, sometimes they like, you know how people say when they're like I'm trying to get into a better perspective. Say my mother, right? She was maybe. She got me, and then I got a kid, and she treat the kid way different than she used to whip my ass and some
You a
shit
way
back when
better-
I was younger. You get
different
what I'm
type of
saying?
grandparent than you are as a parent.
So like through the years, they changed just as well, and they learned as well in the older ages. But you know, the age gap completely different. Like my father was a completely person when my siblings were younger, when they were my age, or even 18. Like they were completely different.
Right.
You know what I think is interesting with the age gap? A lot of people who I know that grew up in the house with siblings that are younger than them, like a significant, like at least let's say 5-6 years younger than them. Especially though when it's like extreme, like you was a teenager when this baby came in the house, they always wound up being like the babysitter.
No,
Like
not me.
My sister has 3 other siblings, and honestly, they're not even that far apart in age. But like, she had to be like the babysitter for them. One of my best friends has his baby sister. I think is 17 years younger than him, and very much was given. Oh, that's the babysitter, the baby with him.
And I feel like that plays a part in the type
My
of
motherfucking
relationships that you have with your siblings, especially with those age gaps. Just because, like I said, I got a brother who's 7 years older than me, and a lot of the times I did see him, that I remember seeing him growing up, other than small time my father getting us together, was when he was watching me. And that plays a part in it because it's like, for the most part, when I'm seeing you, I'm basically babysitting you. And we don't have too much in common, so I'm basically just over here trying to do my own thing. And me being
making sure you ain't setting the house on fire.
And me being the unknowing little brother that I am, I'm getting on your fucking nerves. So you pretty much just want me to get the fuck out the house so you can do your own shit, but you really can't. So that's kind of cramping your style. So, and also the fact, like I said, we don't got too much in common. So it's...
And I'll tell you another thing. You said it affects the relationship you have with your siblings. I feel like it actually can really affect the relationship you have with your parents.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something.
Because imagine being a teen and your mom just had a baby, and so now mom looks at you like you the babysitter. It's like, yo, this is not my son. This is not my daughter. Come get your kid. Now I'm holding resentment towards you. Cause I feel like you like just disregarding whatever I got going on. Cause you need me to watch your baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna piggyback on that, what you were saying about like how basically, like, I'm explaining in my perspective. My father, over time, he even says out his mouth, like, cause I have little siblings, if y'all don't know that. He even says out his mouth that he wants to raise Zay a different way than he raised me. You get what I'm saying?
He's a different person now.
Yeah, like, he want him to expose him to different stuff in a different way. You know, that's just, that's makes more sense because they learned differently throughout dealing with you.
It's a different
and
time.
You feel me? It's a different
he
time
was a different
frame.
person when you.
So that's why when he said,
the
age gap does really affect it. You know what I mean?
Your parents still growing too.
And also,
they
never stop growing.
And then, like I said, how times change. He looks at me now as I'm the guy that's gonna carry on the legacy of us. So he's passing the torch on to me gradually because he's getting up in age, and that's just how it's gonna work. And that's it changes over time. So
but the amount of pressure that I would assume has to come with that,
I mean,
because if you want it and you want it,
I'm
so
about to
that's
say,
different.
you
But
gotta
imagine they try and put something on you that you don't want, and it's like, but oh no, this the family business. You gotta do it. Who gonna do it? I don't wanna.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I'm about to say, but it depends.
Like, imagine if y'all was like, let's say if D was Nick's dad, and D like, I want you to be a rapper, and Nick like, I want to paint and take pictures. I don't want to rap. Leave me alone. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. It's not. It's if it's forced onto you, then I don't agree with it. But if you gradually learning and see it's something that's positive in your life, and it's something that why not? Fuck it. I mean, it's a good opportunity. So it's just like any other opportunity. When you got a father or anybody that's passing on something to you, and it's something that's positive, just like college or anything, like, it's an opportunity. So use your opportunity that you got. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, try it, and if it don't work out, then you go do something fuck else. It's part of life. So
I think I forgot where I got it from, but something just popped in my head about within this topic. I saw something somewhere. Somebody was like, "You think is the job of a child to understand the parent, or for the parent to understand the child?" And I
say both. Go ahead.
I do.
Once they get above age.
Yeah, once they get above age. But I feel like, to answer that question for me,
it's the parent's job.
I feel like it's the parent's job
in the beginning,
because I don't even think it's still just in the beginning. I feel like it's all the way up because I feel like the parent has always they say it to us all the time. Everything you've done, everything you've seen, we've been there, we've done that. So
there's nothing I'm going through that you shouldn't understand.
Exactly. So there's nothing that I'm going through that you shouldn't be able to understand. So if I'm coming to you with some crazy bullshit, whatever it may be, why are you? I mean, not all parents. I know some parents who are cool, understanding. They work you through that. But there are some parents who, I'm coming at you with some, I might have did some shit, blah blah blah, and you blowing off the hand, you just flipping on me type shit instead of trying to help me figure this shit out.
Right.
Well, I can look at it. I look at it like it passes on from when you're a kid until you grow, because they still your parent when you become an adult, and you got to learn and take care of them eventually. So it's like certain shit. I feel it passes on.
But it also lies into, should they be adapting to you, or you should be adapting to
eventually
them? I feel like
that's why I say it's both.
Let me tell you when I think it becomes both. When the child then becomes a parent, there are now things about your parent that you can understand. So real quick, just in case that sounded like weird. When I become a mom, I'll be able to understand stuff that my mother did way more than I can now. Meanwhile, it's nothing older, like he said, that I should ever be going through that you don't know or can't help me. Like, it's your job as the parent to understand me. I'm not supposed to, especially as a child, I'm not supposed to be trying to understand your life. I'm not there yet. I don't have that mental capacity yet. I'm not that mature.
I don't know,
As much as they
because-
try to tell us, you not an adult, you not
Right.
this, you not that. We still have this control. We still have that. So why can't you sit there? Why can't you guide us?
This is why I'm gonna fuck y'all head up, because as an adult, I have my father. My dad didn't have his father, so that void that he trying to fill or something of that, he's never going to be able to understand, and I can see why it made him how he is or how he acts in certain ways. You get what I'm saying? So that I have to understand him as his child to be able to be like, that's why he act the way he acts sometimes.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to flip it on you.
But it has to be as an adult.
Yeah,
in the
but
future. But as a child, you
as a child,
so
that's what I'm saying. It
like,
switches.
I agree 100% with what you're saying, but I'm just saying I think that shouldn't be a thing that should be expected until
you
later on.
I agree. But like, it's fucked up because you got some parents that take those voids out on their children and they don't understand why until they become an adult. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you're right. It should not happen when you're a
saying
kid.
some adults don't even understand what they did until they look
Yeah,
in retrospect.
and then you might have the
understand.
kid that be like, "Look, I wasn't thrown to the wolves like you."
Right.
So like you got to remember, like this is why you are the way you are. I didn't have that void.
And then there's sometimes like I remember I had a conversation.
That shit got deep.
I remember I had a deep heart-to-heart conversation with my dad a couple years ago about just me and his relationship and how we can fix it and get it better and grow
Agreed.
whatever. And with that conversation, he was basically telling me it's a lot of shit that I was doing that I didn't even realize I was doing. It was just me regurgitating what my parents did to me.
Agreed.
And then after the fact, even like he was like after the fact, down 4 or 5 years down the line, I look back at him like, damn, that's the same shit I was complaining what my parents was doing to me, but I just did that same shit to him.
My son.
So I can understand where he gets that. I can understand why he was basically saying I can understand where you might find that animosity, you might have that little bit of pain or whatever, because I felt the same way, but I was just in that predicament, in that situation. Like I wasn't thinking about it. I was just basically just regurgitating what was done to me, and it took me some time to realize, oh shit, I just did that.
Right.
Yeah, that's real shit. Damn.
Right.
That's most parents though.
And you know what? Even that thing that you saying, like the first point you made was about how parents are different grandparents than they are parents. But then you also made this point about how Booby told you he gonna raise Zay differently than the way he raised you. It's like there's no like manual to being a parent.
Agreed.
Right?
Learn.
So it's like you're learning as you go. And there are probably conversations that you had with your dad that kind of gave him perspective that he may not have had before. Or even that maybe, you feel me, Charlie and Booby might have had with him that made him like, okay, well, when Chauncey come along, I'm going to make sure I get this shit together now this time. Or y'all did talk and now it's, all right, let me make sure I get this right to Zay. You feel me? And that's how, yeah.
That's real.
They always do say parents get better as the children go along.
Yeah, they get older.
Like the more kids you have, the better parent you become,
Right.
because you have more practice.
It becomes easier a little bit over
And
time.
I think that takes it back to the
all them
I said
reps.
that, like the first episode, or 2 episodes ago, I was like, you can't really be prepared for something unless you actually put yourself in that position.
Right.
So it's like once you get more, the more practice you get, the better you get.
Let me ask
Sure.
Nick a question, because
Talk to me.
you said you you think you got siblings out there. Do you feel like it's necessary for you to get in contact with them?
I would
Like,
actually-
because my father has been doing that. Like he's been getting real in touch, in tune, because he said he want to do it before he dies, of course, with his siblings, his family they never met, because his father, rest in peace, Grandpa. I just posted a picture of him too. He he Rolling Stone. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. He got a few kids out there that that my father never met, and they his brother. A lot of them actually. You hear that? Oh, okay. But just so overall, it's just like, you feel like you need to connect with them at some point in time, or is it something that your void that you want to fill, or is it you just want to live life?
Probably at some point in time, maybe, but it's like, and it goes down a bigger rabbit hole. Like I would have to meet him
Indeed.
as an adult. You feel me? Like my kind of,
Is he-
it don't
got older
have to
siblings?
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got two older and one younger, from what my mother told me. But I don't think it's a need for me, to be honest, because it's like, for certain things in my life, if I didn't really want it or yearn it, then I'm like, I didn't really need it. Like, because it goes deeper. Like, I feel like at that point I might as well try to meet my biological father, or try to get this connection. But I feel like me being so introverted now, it's like it's kind of hard for me to like really actively go out there and try to reach out to, because it's like, damn, then I got probably nieces and nephews that I don't know about. Then I got maybe a different set of grandparents that's out there that still
uncles.
exactly. So it's
Everything.
like it's a lot that goes into it. So I feel like I would have to be ready
Yeah,
at a certain point in my life to do that.
That's
You know
why
what I
I'm
mean?
saying my father at this point in life, he's ready, because he know like the hill he's coming down. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he's gonna be living forever. So
Right.
I get what you're saying. But when you ready, you ready.
Right.
That makes
Right.
sense. I hope I ain't
So how do y'all feel like the rankings of siblings play a factor into like
older.
like you got the older, you got the middles, and you got the youngest.
Babies, yeah.
The middle child is always pushed to the back burner.
Really?
Damn.
I think the middle child always end up trying to be the golden child. Maybe I'm.
Y'all ever heard of middle child syndrome?
Yeah,
Like
I am.
Oh well, yeah.
Y'all about to say?
All
But-
of them is syndromes, like
I
only
think-
child
no
syndrome.
facts, no facts.
I think a lot
But I've
of
heard like
times-
Yeah.
middle children are like, I don't want to say the worst, but it's like I feel like
Damn.
I've heard not the worst, but like the stuff I've heard about a middle child, like they say that the middle children, because how you just said they
I'm
always
the only
put in the
middle?
back burner.
I am the only middle.
You the only middle. I've heard middle children are like really hard to please, and like they're very closed off, and like stuff like that.
I will agree with closed off. Like I've definitely gotten way better with that over the years, sharing my emotions and shit like that, and becoming more vulnerable. That's what my girl used. Vulnerable. I like that word. Yeah. So overall, I think the middle child, in my eyes, maybe because I'm talking from my perspective, is looked at as the golden child, because I feel like I said, they learn over time, and they feel like they got it right in the middle, and then they spoil the younger ones. You feel me? And the ones that was older was the ones that was like they put the vigorous shit on. So it's like the
Yeah.
middle child, like, all right, I feel like I got it together.
I get what you're saying.
You feel
the
me?
first child
And
is
they
like the guinea pig.
Yeah, and they spoil the younger one.
Let me
And the
see if
middle
I know
one,
what I'm
like, all right,
doing.
I'm gonna treat you cool. Like, make sure you gonna get you a best of both worlds type shit. I'm gonna spoil you a little bit, but I'm also gonna be on your ass. So you feel me? Like, that's how I was raised.
Yeah, where's
I
that
like your
baby's like?
perspective.
Yeah, and the baby, I'm gonna spoil
Yeah.
the shit out of him, especially if it's baby, the daughter. Oh my god! But go ahead.
But maybe my point of view from, because you lived it, but I was saying maybe you maybe have a little bit different situation than the typical middle child.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. I agree. No, I
Just
agree.
because you didn't you wasn't always living with your siblings, and because of the fact that your older siblings
And I got a
so
mo-
much-
I
And
got,
it took forever
you know, my
for
mother.
Zay and Roger
Right.
to get here, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you were older
like
when they did.
14, 15.
Yeah, I was
something like that.
14. Yeah, I was like 14.
And then your older siblings are so much older.
Where
than
is
you.
So I got an age gap with both.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's his point.
You
But
damn
that's
in the middle. You like middle.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, whereas
It's
like you got like an Andre Jamal Hakeem thing, like they ain't
Yeah,
even
they
fall
was
from each
raised
other
together.
type of shit. Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I think I'm the true definition of a middle child then. If I got the age cap with both, you get what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know. I never lived that life that you saying. Like, all three of them lived in the same house, and it's just the middle child thing.
So for D and Trelly, how did it feel being the younger child?
Shit, me,
The youngest.
She loved it.
Yeah,
he was spoiled.
I was just like, well, but all my older siblings did wrong. I never did.
See, that means you was a smart younger child.
Hey, look,
You learned from
all of the
their
ass
example.
whoopings, it's like, I
I just never did what they did.
There are certain
Yeah,
shit where you have to like kind of put your foot in the water yourself and test that shit out by yourself. But for the most part, that is one
I had to learn
greatest
from
benefit from having the older sibling. Every single thing I saw you get your ass whipped on,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
That's
I'm
smart.
staying away from it.
Yo, T, when I tell you, let me tell you how smart that makes you. Because some kids have to get burned to learn that fire is hot.
Yep.
You watched them get burned and was like, oh, no, I ain't touching that shit.
That's a real. I think we all got that quality.
Right.
Us three, we all got that definitely quality. Because we got older siblings that did the dumbest shit.
I ain't no follower.
And we ain't, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what my grandmother has taught. Never be a follower.
Never
Always
follow.
be a leader. But know when to follow.
Some of them asses wasn't even
You
worth it.
feel
I'm
me?
listening like, dang,
Rest in
real
peace,
shit.
grandma. But that was the realest shit she ever said.
I
I also do think that some qualities you get from being the younger child, especially when it comes to the big age gaps, is to learn how to be by yourself. Just because,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do have that older sibling, like I said, with the age gap, they're always off doing their own thing. So you kind of have to learn how to be by yourself, whether that be, I mean, I used to go to the basketball court all the time, play basketball, shoot around with myself, or whether play video games, watch TV, go fuck with him, just stuff like that. Just kind of like learn how to adapt to being by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can agree with that, even being an only child. Like, you just learn a lot of independence. You just do stuff by yourself naturally. Like
over time, that molds you, like being dependent on yourself and knowing that like you got your own back sometimes and you're just gonna go full force. That's something that like, cause like to be honest, that decision you made to not go to college and you know how to do all of this shit is a thing that you had to make on your own. Like even though you got parents of course giving you, but you had to have that confidence in yourself, like to go and do it. You feel me? Like just shit like that is really what molds you. So that might be something that came out of this that was that was good.
I appreciate that. I dropped out, but
he ain't dropped out. He chose his best option in life.
I was in there.
Yeah,
dropped out.
Chose his best option in life. That's what I'm saying.
Because that was you sure made something out of it.
Exactly. So, I look at it like it's now a dropout motherfucker that ain't doing shit. A bum that just didn't want to go learn.
Right.
He learned his own way, and that's what I'm saying. That's what make him better as a person. You feel me? That's ambitious to me.
I appreciate that.
I don't
I
give a
appreciate
fuck.
that.
Yeah,
I
like,
appreciate
come on,
that.
man.
And the pandemic ain't messed me up at all. I know a lot of y'all
Look, he was
extroverts
tan
out
like a
there.
motherfucker.
Yo.
Y'all was hurting.
Rest. Okay. Where's the people?
That's with me. I love being out.
See, I was good
Yo, they
too. I was
say
good.
that introverted people was like,
This how I know I'm in the middle. Yeah, we was playing GTA and shit. This how I know I'm in the middle. As long as I got my niggas, like, or my niggas I know I'm with, like, I'm cool. But if y'all ain't had y'all
I was
niggas,
scared to come around y'all asses. Like I wanted to, but I was scared to come around y'all.
With that shit. I would risk my life with y'all. Don't ever do that shit again. I'm just saying. Don't ever do that shit again.
I missed you, boo. I did, but I was scared.
So Shay, talk
I'm
about.
like, y'all out here sharing blunts. It might be COVID in that. Ew, I'm scared. I was fucking scared.
I mean, it was. But you see niggas lived. We good.
We good.
Niggas got COVID.
The trees is
I ain't get it, but some of these niggas got COVID.
God is good.
I ain't gonna point them out.
That shit is the worst.
Right, actually.
That shit is the worst.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I ain't never get. Well, at least I didn't think I got it, but yeah.
That's what's up. Shay, talk about being an older child.
Only child.
Older. Because you grew up as an older child, but now you're old. Do you feel any like difference now?
Okay, so
Hell no.
he's the only.
We the big brother, little brothers. Fuck you talk about.
She
Little
sister,
big brothers.
for real.
They the little
Big brother,
brothers.
little brothers.
All right, let me tell you one thing that I experienced being an only child. An older child. So my sister and I are 5 years apart, right? And I'm the oldest. My dad has an older brother who is 5 years older than him. Now, my father intentionally, especially when my sister and I were like teenagers, 'cause my sister was bad as shit, and you know, yes, it's fucking bad. He used to like try to. I mean, I guess this is what I was supposed to do as a big sister, but he was like, "Man, look, get her together," type shit. Like because like I don't want to make it seem like I was the good one, but I wasn't bad as a child. My only problem usually was just that I used to talk too much. Still do, but I wasn't like bad.
Pee Wee had that ass on lock. That's why.
So he used to be like, "Man, listen, talk to her, cause when I do it, it's giving neg. She gonna try to hang up on me, like try to in a sisterly way, like." And that was like, I used to like bump back up against it because it was like on one hand it's like, all right, I get it. This is because he used to make it clear to me that he wishes he had like a better bond growing up with my uncle. So he was trying to make me and my sister have something that he didn't have. And so it's like, okay, I understand that as her big sister, like, yeah, I can give her all the wisdom and guidance, but at the same time, and I used to always tell me, like, listen, she got my number. Her phone ain't broke. If she want to call me, she can, but I'm not ready to keep trying to pour into a vessel that I don't want to be poured into. Like, so it was oftentimes given like a...
I'm a little on the fence.
You on the fence? Okay, because it was like, listen, I'll give it to her if she wanted. I'm not ready for her to sit down her throat. I got stuff I'm over here doing with my own life.
Right.
So it's like, if she wound up bad, it ain't on me.
No, as an older
So you weren't
sibling,
raising that.
it's like
I was right. She ain't my daughter. She my sister. I can do but so much.
I agree with that.
I can't whip that ass. I can't make her be good. I can't punish her.
Obligated, but like we've been having this obligated fucking word for the last couple weeks.
Wow.
You're not obligated, but it's like how we just said, do you choose yourself over people? Sometimes I ain't saying you gotta force yourself in her life, but it's like, do you personally believe? Yeah, do you personally believe that if your father is asking for this, like he's asking for this because he sees something in you that you can provide that he can't?
And I understand that.
When you know what I mean, that's why I'm like, because he's done that to me too, because like she's only gonna know him as a parent. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna know him as a big sister. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying it in a way. She can be a little more transparent in certain shit.
And that's facts. And you know what's interesting? Now that we're adults, I feel like, and he probably used to tell her, like, man, talk to your sister. I don't know. I wasn't on the phone when he was on the phone. But, like, now that we're grown and she's, like, done a complete 360, I'm, like, almost shocked at, like, how
I know.
Nice of a person she is, considering how she used to be as a teenager. That teenage years, y'all. It's crazy. Anyway, like when she going through something, she 9 times out of 10 she'll already know what I'ma say, but she'll still call me like, "Yo, I did this. What you think?" And I'm like, "Bitch, get your priorities together. You know you fucking up." And she like, "I know. I knew you was gonna say that. I just wanted to hear you say it." And it's like, all right, yeah, that's our dynamic as sisters. That's fine, and I'm here for it. Yeah. Like whatever type of relationship is given, we can have that.
But imagine if she didn't have that though. That's what I'm saying. Like if she didn't have what you just said.
Are you asking what I feel? Some type of
not if like guilt? If you didn't have that relationship because of how you think, like how you was thinking at first, like now of course you with it. But like if you was thinking like that and you just like dropped out of like just not dealing with her, like it will be that void she will be looking for, because she will be looking for somebody to give her that. It might be another person, of course, but she'll be looking for that, and she look at it in you. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. As a big sis, you're already there. She don't gotta go searching for it. You feel me?
What you're saying. And but like, okay. And the same thing that I said to my father, I used to say to her, like, I'm here if you ever need me. Mm-hmm. But like again, it used to be given like one-sided in our relationship, and it's like, I'm not about to keep doing this with you.
I hear that a lot with women when it comes to relationships, especially best friends and shit like that. If it's one-sided, y'all.
Because it's just like, this thing has to be 50-50, and it's
she's 5 years younger than you, right?
Okay, so that don't mean I'm coming to you for advice, but you could just call me and ask me like, how was my date? Like anything. And then in the process of us then having this conversation, if there's some advice you need because you want to tell me about something, then that's all fine and well, and we can do that. But it's just like, it would be times where like I would call or I would text, and it's like, oh, you don't want to answer the phone? Okay, bet. Well, I ain't calling back because I know you seen that notification. Like the fact that your phone lives on Do Not Disturb is not a reason why you can act like you don't know that I called. So, and you're not ready to tell me you forgot, because my memory is terrible. But I make provisions to try to do stuff so that I can't forget. So it's just like, you feel me? Niggas make time for what they want to make time for.
Agreed.
And that was my energy with her when she was a teenager. We better as adults. But when she was a teen, I'm like, look, she good. I see her on the gram.
Definitely agree with that.
What, the one-sided shit?
Not even just one-sided shit. Like just not having that same relationship, and as not having the same relationship as you do as adults. Just because, like she said, it's that big age gap, so it wasn't like I can think
I learned at different times.
I can remember going months without talking to my brother.
And
that shit bothers me, but it's like I remember going months without talking to him, and it's like that's just because it's not really much. I'm not gonna say not much to say, but it's just not much to. We don't have that much in common. Like when I was in high school and he was out in California.
7 years is a long time.
Exactly. Out in California, tattooing, doing his artwork, doing his thing.
Yeah, it's sad.
But it's like...
But I still die for you. I barely know you, but I still die for you.
Of course, but I feel like now, like, I talk to him, I talk to my brother at least once or twice a week, maybe more than that. But I feel like now it's just because... And being as though the fact... That's another thing. Being as though the fact that he has kids now, that definitely plays a big part in it, because...
He see what his kids got.
And he always, like, I remember one thing he said to me, the first thing he said to me when Glory was born, that's the older one, he was like, how does it feel to be the greatest uncle in the world? And I shed a tear when he said that shit to me, because it was like, we didn't have the greatest relationship, but you still look at me like that, to where as though you want me to be that great uncle in your kid's life. So that shit meant a lot to me. So now, I do my best to be in those kids' life. I sent fucking Glory. I sent Glory a Tesla for her birthday. Like I do my best to be in those kids' life, just because I want
Uncle D.
I want them to have deeper relationship than me and my brother had.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Honestly, the relationship that you and your brother have will probably like really like improve as he sees you pouring into his children.
That's how I always have it.
That's yeah.
And that even happens with parents. Like some parents weren't the best fucking parent, but at the same time, when they pour into like their child's child, you know, that kind of gives off the energy that they, you know, as long as you love your grandchild, like I want him to be loved, but we good. You know?
Yeah,
that's some real shit. But
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now let me ask y'all this: what's some of the differences y'all seen in boys versus girls being raised?
What difference? What you doing?
Yeah.
Don't
you know we talking about as siblings, or you just talking about just?
You know we strict on the
like
girl.
only child wise siblings, or like how we doing it?
Talking about your experiences that you've seen from girls being born.
Okay.
Siblings. Yeah, siblings
that's what I'm saying,
and people around you. Like
if you talking about like like.
I mean, I like
no.
First of all,
shit.
And again, I don't have brothers outside of these niggas, and we wasn't raised in the same house. So, but what I've seen just in life, boys get away with like a lot more shit than girls do. Case in point. My significant other has a younger sister, right? I think they're like 7 years apart. And the stuff that he was doing when we were teenagers, she could never.
That's a fact.
Never.
That's a law, though. It's politics.
You hear me, sis? That's
Take mommy car and be out all hours of the night while she sleep? Hell no. Having people like little girls all up in the basement? Hell no. And then the double standard that just exists for raising a boy versus raising a girl.
That's how it is, though.
Just based on the fact that my significant other has a younger brother and
he dragged.
Compared to the type of shit.
That's a meme.
Nuts on the ground.
That's going on the ground.
Compared to the type of shit
she had to go
through. Like he do the fuck he wanted.
And she the baby. I mean, he the baby to a big
That's
sister.
what's crazy, right?
Hell yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a different type of spoil.
No,
you double spoiled.
My father like that with Roger. Like he real strict on her ass, but not strict.
Really?
Not strict
compared to Zay.
But we on the ass though.
Hell yeah, Zay out here talking to little girls and shit at Sky Zone.
Yeah, Zay
go ahead, son.
Yeah, we went.
But if that shit happened,
Roger, what the fuck?
What the fuck you doing?
I took my niece to Sky Zone like 3 years ago, and she was I was with her the whole time. We jumping, having fun. This little boy come over talking. I said, I watch him. He like, hey, yeah, that's your dog. I was like, nah. I was like, that's my dog, that's my niece. He said, oh. And he was telling her to jump. So she was riding a little thing. And he's standing next to me like, come on, you can do it. I'm looking like, so then she do the whole thing, and then she falls. So I go to help out. This nigga run in front of me. Oh, I'm like, he got you. Your parents said, bro.
He got you beat, yo. He got you beat.
I got her. Come on, baby.
Yeah, I was feeling like, but I was like, hold up, little puppy,
hold up. If that was your son doing that to a female, you'd be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I wasn't like strict like what you doing. I had to. I caught myself in the mix. Like I backed up and
it's just,
you know what? It's kids.
How old is your niece?
Journey's what, 5?
Hell no.
5.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. But if it was my son,
yo,
I'm all with it, champ.
See,
you know what I'm
let me tell you how crazy this is, right? So one of my cousins has a son. We are the same age. People, I'm 27 years old. Okay, I am grown. He called me last night. I was out celebrating my birthday.
What you doing?
He like, where you at? What you want? Let me see what you got on.
Real
shot o'clock.
Yes.
What? I'm like, sir, when will I be grown to you?
Never. You never.
He's like 40.
Yeah.
I'm like, your son over there is married with 2 children. What is he? It's a grown ass man. What am I? A little girl.
And I respect
it. The same age.
I respect it.
The same.
It's just the politics.
It's just I don't know, yo. It's just because let me get serious.
Our women in our life, like, is
yeah, like we got
play with it, like yeah, like you get played with it.
No, you not.
No, you ain't never good around this motherfucker.
Yo,
you ain't never good.
Bro,
this world we live in, you ain't never good.
Yo, exactly, bro. I don't mean to say like that.
You ain't never good.
I like how the energy behind it because it's passion, real shit.
Like
think about
sex trafficking.
Yeah, yo, think about shit like that, bro. I would, yo, daddy, if a nigga told me a nigga snatched you up in the van, bro, you know how that fucking kill me, bro. I'll be on somebody's ass, bro.
I believe you.
But I mean, I'll be on somebody's ass and he got snatched up too. But I'm like, at least I know he held his own for a little bit. I ain't saying you wouldn't hold your own, but I'm
I'm
saying
to say no. You gonna earn this.
Yeah, you gonna
fight back, but it's gonna take a little
different.
harder.
So I'm like, it
Yeah.
that nigga got you. God damn it.
God,
Law by citizen.
Yeah, like,
That's what we're going
Shit,
at. Law by citizen. Him. Up in that's nieces, sisters, mothers, aunt. We ain't grandma. We not playing that.
Yeah, don't play that shit.
We're not having that, bro.
And that's a
I'm
thing.
up in
though.
it.
Nigga said
And
straight
that's why,
never
up
good.
in
that's
it.
why you need
Up in the
black.
score.
That's why
Like,
you need black men and black. I'm
Seriously.
sorry, black. That's why you need males in your life, bro. Because there was shit like
up in that shit.
that shit hits me differently when a father leaves their daughter. I'm sorry, I get it. The son, it still should be the equal, but when they father leave their daughter, that shit fucks me up, bro.
Cause the shit that you put on that child to grow up with, like,
Yeah,
Lord,
bro,
them
but when they
daddy
leave
issues
their daughter,
for a girl,
Man, oh my
that
goodness.
should be different.
Yes.
bro.
And that
Sorry.
shit.
Getting passionate.
It branches off with different things, but you
No
know.
facts. It done got so passionate here. I'm getting high.
But you know, we just want you to be safe and be careful. You know, always careful. Now, every smiley face has good intentions behind it, and I just need you to know the difference from right and wrong. Or I'm up in that shit, flat out. I'm up in that.
I
All
don't know
this shit
that
getting
you
up.
sounded like my damn dad.
All this shit getting
Cat,
up.
bro.
I'm not what?
I'm not playing.
That's why I looking at little cuz like, you better get your little ass on, bro. But I had to realize, you know, it's little
It's the
kids.
fact that he chased her when she
Little
got
kids,
found out.
yeah, like you trying to help her out.
And it be like sometimes as a man, the shit that you did with women, I would never want to see my motherfucker do it again. Oh no, God,
I was a gentleman, so
yo,
I'm fine.
fuck
I was a
that.
gentleman.
Yo, some of the shit you done did, you wouldn't want your daughter to be exposed
Of course
to.
not.
So
But
exactly,
that's
all I'm
again, I
saying.
know it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna always be
Yeah,
there every
that's the
step.
thing. That's
But I just
why-
want her to be prepared. I don't want her to be on no. You feel what I'm saying? Like losing her
Like
mind. Like that
it-
video on Twitter, like Shorty losing her mind over
Oh, that nigga?
Walter.
Yeah,
I
I
say,
seen that
good
shit.
God from Zion. I'm
Yeah.
like,
But my big, see, I do have a big sister
I don't
too.
want my daughter to feel like she need a nigga.
I
for
do have a
nothing.
big sister too, and that's my girl. I love her to death. But
yeah,
my
big sister.
father be on her ass.
supposed
Like he don't like when she drunk. I be twisted. I be fucked up with my father. He don't like that shit with her. Like that's real shit. I don't know why it's like that, but it's just like that. Like you see what she was saying at the party the whole time? She like, let me get my sips in before pops come. And I understand why she feel like that because he treat her in a protective manner. Now me and my father, he know we straight. Like we going out.
Crazy. That's the perfect example because she has a fucking twin brother.
Exactly.
And he did not do nothing like
But you
that
see
with
where he
him.
at though. I don't mean to say it like that, but you see where my brother at. My older brother, he's in prison now, and it's like sometimes you leave dudes like when they leave us to just go and figure shit out, make the mistakes, but it be a little more vigorous when it come to women. Like I don't know, it feel like the mistakes y'all make, we don't want to see y'all make them. So it'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna be on your ass a little bit more. But when it come to us, they just let us go run to the wolves a little bit sometimes and figure it out when they come back.
For sure.
This is a level of protection. I think that comes
Protect
from.
black men and black women.
It's a level of protection. I think that comes from like most people. I mean, most people say, and I say it all the time. You gotta experience some shit to learn it.
Yeah.
So like for you to, I feel like.
And I think that's a lot of people's philosophy with their sons.
Exactly. That's what
You might need to get burned to learn the fire is hot. With my daughter, I'm going to tell her, don't touch the stone.
At all.
She's still gonna be hard.
My mindset is my
Put some
mindset,
fucking
or a lot
mittens
of the men mindset, from what I can see, is I don't even have to put her in that position to make her like figure out to touch that stove because I'm gonna protect her from that shit regardless.
For sure.
With my son, I'm not gonna be able to sit there and protect him, so I'm gonna have to let him go touch that stove.
And that's what they
become
call,
a man
that's
a little
what's making
bit.
a man.
Yeah,
And I was
become a
about
man
to
a
say,
little bit. That's helping.
As an alpha, you want to create another alpha. So when you look at
Get
it
it
on
out the
them,
mud.
you gotta let them go out
Not the
there
princess
and be a
stuff.
lone wolf and figure shit out.
Figure it out.
And then you don't want to be a beta. So you gotta let them figure that out. Now I don't mean to. I'm not saying y'all can't be. Well, there is alpha women, yeah, of
It is.
course. But I don't know how that conversation.
We ain't got to go there, but just...
That hand was
But
raised quick.
it's alpha women out there that had to go and do the same shit, but we still want to protect y'all
Yeah,
regardless.
it's just the law, like men,
Yeah.
women, like y'all queens, like Ain't nothing.
Yeah,
ain't having none of that.
like that.
Yeah, that's how I look
King
at it. Little
always
brother
need
not.
his queen, but a queen.
That's why I'm
always
always
need her
hard on
king.
Day-Day. She tell you the little. She always say you the little. Don't care. Don't care what I am. Where you going?
Exactly.
With who?
What you talking about?
Location. Drop it.
For real.
If you don't reach back in 5 minutes, I'll be there in 5 minutes,
shit.
shorty. I'm
Real
not
shit.
playing.
Like,
But-
I'm sorry, Diddy. If one of them niggas ever says, if you tell us one of them niggas ever did some shit like that to
It's
you,
a rap.
No fix.
It's a whole rap.
All I gotta call is one. They gonna get the other two.
I was gonna say the other
And it's
one.
lights out
And
for
then it's
whoever
the
this
other
force
five.
The
is.
other one's coming regardless.
it is the other four.
Right.
Everybody get good.
Right.
You would cause a fucking
Period.
war.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's how.
Man, cause let they fathers get in the car.
Humbly.
Somebody
Humbly.
is dying.
That's humbly. That's humble. We ain't even call her OG. That's humble. That's humble.
No, that's crazy.
It's just we just like to have fun. Everybody be in one accord, and we just
Get
live
like
life.
Rocky
That's
dumbass
it.
who like fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, niggas like him, you gotta wait till the shit get real. Like,
Exactly.
like, all right, we coming to fight regardless. But if, all right, he bring other niggas, all right, we gotta get in there. We gotta, you know what I'm saying?
But we like to have fun. We like to have fun. Be at peace.
We do. Yeah.
For sure.
So, how do y'all feel the load is of being like an only child? Now, I know that Day grew up basically only child. I grew up basically only child. D, for the most part, you grew up kind of only child, except when they came along. And then Chauncey,
I
for
was-
you on one end, kind of like an only child,
Yeah.
with your
In the beginning.
with our side. You feel me? So it's like, how you feel like that load is gonna be over time? Talk to me, Trelly.
Well, I'm the youngest, but I feel like the load was on me was, all right, I had siblings. My family had an objective. Go to school, you're supposed to do, graduate. And that was the only objective they asked. You feel what I'm saying? So my sister did that. My other two brothers didn't. So it was like, I looked like, shit, I want to see if I can go beyond that. You feel what I'm saying? I was trying to see if let's go to college, do the college part. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did what I did, took the route. I took it is possible. You know what I'm saying? I can do it. So I don't think it was a heavy load because they didn't ask so much. It was just about you figuring out how you was going to get it done and also still stay on the right track and not fall into the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So
See, real quick, let me ask you a question. For as long as it was possible, were your parents together?
Well, 15 years total. I think they met 93, 94. I was born 97.
5, 6 some years.
Yeah, and then I came, and then it was like over in like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, so they broke up when you was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
I think that's how it always is.
Yeah, that's
They
how it
eventually
is.
break up. Like, that's
Yeah.
how mine was. When I was like 8, 9, that's when they first separated and we moved to different houses and shit.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that.
Oh,
I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm putting out all my information and shit. Dang. Well, I mean,
Just
we
can't
being
suck
real.
that
Like,
shit.
Hey.
y'all didn't know this, but like, yeah, I mean, they did. Well, they eventually
I'm about
did
to say, I
because
knew
when we
shit.
moved, I
We
moved
was at
the
my
fucking. Yeah, y'all might not have known that, but they did because they used to come to all the houses I used to live at.
I'm gonna tell you, when you was on Owens Mills,
That shit was lit.
that was lit.
That shit was lit. That was the best. Bro, pool in the backyard.
that was the best time of your
gym,
life.
4-wheelers, all that
Yeah.
shit.
The big ass
That
ball.
was
Big
but
ass
then,
living room.
You know, shit
Pool
changed.
That shit
Big
is
ass
dope.
TV,
I can't wait for our Boston birthday. Come on, keep going to
We was lit. We was lit.
On
But
room, on
shit
bathroom,
changed, bro.
you worked
After
out.
that, it was just, I mean, I ain't gonna say it went downhill. It was just, you was a regular, humble, humble
You
lifestyle.
got used to it.
Yeah, and once you get used to that and you notice the real struggles in life, you know what I mean? Shit get real
It's
after
second
that.
nature.
Mhm.
For sure.
But, I
Shay,
don't,
you wanted to get into it. Talk to me.
All right, so the reason why I asked T about like how long his parents have been together because I feel like the load of an only child, at least in my perspective, is a lot heavier when you're the only child of a single parent.
They got high
Because
expectation.
when like when you are an only child and mommy and daddy are together, it's like they still giving you everything they got, but they have each other. And they kind of like can calm the other one down. Like, you know how you usually got one parent that's like the pushover and one parent that's like the aggressor.
Good parent, bad parent.
Right. Good cop, bad cop. That good cop is going to be like, yo, calm down. You whip his ass enough. Or, all right, leave him alone this one time. When you are the only child of a single parent, so it's just you and mommy or just you and daddy, there is nobody to save you.
What's crazy is when I was living with my mother and sister, And I found out that my brother moved to my father's house. That same day I called him like, bro, you gonna come get me too? Like, you not about to leave me here with both? Hell no. And I got out there that week, but it wasn't nothing personal against my mom. And the crazy, my father told me that my mother called him feeling some type of way, but it was nothing personal. It was just like,
that's really
You want to be with the boys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's how it was, bro.
The dogs, the game, the
My
boys,
mother-
we just dragging.
my mother got distraught.
But you was
like,
her baby.
Yeah.
And she like, why
when I
you
got
leaving
to that
me?
age to start going hang out with them all the fucking time, yeah, she ain't like that shit at first, but fuck it, gotta deal with it. I don't wanna have fun.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all about what you want in your journey, and as how you came up.
So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Being the load of like an only child, like to maybe that one parent that you might have to take care of over time.
I think it
possibly.
depends on who your
Oh
parents
my
is.
gosh. Yes. Go with
I was
you.
about to say, I think it depends on who your parents is. Like, when you got independent parents, like my parents, they entrepreneurs all their life, so they know how to just
Stay
survive,
straight.
or do whatever. You know what I mean? So, but like I said earlier, passing on a legacy and shit like that, yeah, that shit sits on your shoulders a little different. I'm not saying it's a burden. It's not a burden to me because I look at it like I take anything on as a challenge, and I'm a go-getter. So I feel like I gotta go out and get whatever, you know. So, and that was bred into me. So that's why I say no. I don't believe it was like a bad load, but I do feel like it is pressure. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's pressure, but it's not something that I'm scared of. You feel me? So I want to
It's not
accomplish
ready to
it.
break you.
Yeah, it's going to help. Actually, it's helping me be the man I am.
Right.
I think from a certain aspect of it, it's like it depends on the type of pressure you're talking about, because it can be some pressure that somebody else is putting on you, like pressure that you may feel like your people are putting on you, or like he was saying, like me, I feel the pressure on myself. I'm putting this pressure on myself just because in my situation, my parents were never really together. So I'm my mother's only child, so I feel the pressure to take care of her and provide for her because she did everything that she did for me for as many years she did.
Right.
So I feel like it's my turn to do that. So it's not like she says it all the time. I don't need you to do nothing. I want you to. You're the child in this situation, so it's my job to take care of you.
Right.
I'm like, no, you did your job. Let me take a turn now. So it's not like it. I feel like it's bad pressure or bad load if it's some shit that somebody's putting on you. Exactly, forced onto you.
Right.
But if it's something that you want to do for yourself, or you feel like you need to do, cool, straight.
I think that, like, I think your stance on it has a lot to do with the fact that you're a man and you live with your mom, who's obviously a woman. Because I think Chauncey just said something about, like, getting older. Maybe it was you, Nick. I don't know. But the point is, like, that kind of just, I've thought about it before. Like, man, listen, I'm my mother's only child. When she get old, if she get, like, sick, I got to take care of her.
Yes,
she got to move back in with me.
But I got to take care too. So if they get older together, I'm going to have to take care of both of them.
But you going to have Raja and Zay, who gonna be some young bucks that can help you. You got Booby and Rayshawn and Charlie who can help you. Like, you, the benefit of having siblings.
You see me?
Whatever. I mean, but
Rayshawn, I get what you're saying.
my point just is,
What they gonna do behind bars? I'm sorry, but
because you're not speaking that into forever. But no, my point just is, when you have multiple siblings, like, there was like a trend at one time on social media, like, man, out of all my mother kids, when she started getting on my nerves, I know I can send her over there. Ain't nobody for me to send her to. So I just gotta eat that shit.
But what I'm saying is, not all the siblings are gonna be the person to want to take care of them. It's like that too when they get older too.
That's your mother. It's your turn.
See that.
Take
No,
your
but I'm saying I see that. It be a lot of motherfuckers when they get older. Yeah, like they just like fall it on to one sibling or fall it onto the person they think can handle it, and they just go about their fucking lives and step in when they feel like it.
And you right.
And not a person that's always around
is
taking care.
going through that. Like, my grandmother was like number 2 of 5. But she's like the strongest one out of her siblings. So when my great grandmother passed, I think she did most of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
She handled it.
I look forward to when my pops get older.
Well, not
Get older, but like when he wanna, come on live with me, old nigga.
It's crazy because like the.
He gonna get on your goddamn nerves.
So it's a spot that I go to out Edgewood to get cheesesteaks. They got some good ass food out there. But there's a dude out there, I think T, you probably know him, David, the Asian dude.
Yeah, I didn't tell about you.
Yeah, but him. So me and I was there yesterday talking to him. He's saying he's leaving. because he
Pass on
Yeah,
to
he going
son.
back. Yeah, he going back to what you
he
call
going back to somewhere, but he
Korea?
from where he's from. But basically,
Yeah.
he said he was only there to help out his
Help his
parents.
parents. Yep.
And he's
Damn.
been there.
Help him.
He's been there
Since
for.
12th grade. Since we was in 12th grade.
He's been there for at least 8. I think he said 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
little
was like-
young yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he was saying,
yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday. I'm like, damn, because I'm like, damn, we gonna miss you. I've been
Seeing you
seeing you for a minute. But he like, damn, like I have to move on with my life at some point. And he was like, but you gotta think about it. Like I got siblings that
Could be
quit.
doing this.
Like he literally
Yeah, no,
said,
yeah,
he
they
like-
did quit.
He literally
They
said,
was
I got
there.
siblings that quit
Yeah.
and they haven't helped the family business in like 10, 15 years, and they just off doing their own thing. But you
I gotta
expect
do
me,
it too, yeah.
but you expect me to sit here and do this shit by myself my whole life? No, that's not gonna work.
I feel that.
Mhm.
And that's basically pretty much what.
And then that'll cause
Tag
some
team.
resentment towards the siblings because bitch, this is your mother too.
Right.
The fuck are you
Food
doing?
be smacking though.
Hit Edgewood Convenience Store, Edgewood Road, right across the street from Willie Farm. That shit is something.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Get you some of that.
Now you about to make the spot hot. Be like, damn, I gotta stay
Everybody
alive for my
making
damn
That shit hit, man.
Especially when you just done playing basketball, what?
Facts.
Some sweaty shit. You
Hell
go there, get an Arizona
Chicken
with
box or something.
chicken
Arizona.
box, something like that motherfucker.
Eat up.
Niggas
So
is making me
piggybacking
hungry.
on what D said, it's like different paths that siblings can take in life
Mhm.
that results in them being able to do stuff for their parents sometimes over time, or it could how they turned out could affect how the parents might treat you, or the parents might be all together.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's why I say what I said earlier. Like in my experience, I feel like I'm that child that is looked on to carry everything on, and I ain't gonna say the golden child, but in words of passing all of this knowledge on to the younger siblings, and even when my older siblings, even when they get out, however the fuck, we plan on doing it, he wants to be able to say, yo, I got this implemented. If Bowie get out, Charlie get out, his other little brother got him. Like, be able to say, like, he can do whatever, and for his little siblings, and teaching them the knowledge and passing on businesses and shit like that. That's the rotation. That's why you need good parents, and that's why I say you gotta have them type of relationship. Like I said, regardless, if I don't see Booby or Charlie like for years, they know for a fact that I'm still gonna ride and die for them, because that's just how I'm bred. So, and they got my last name, and so it's like there's certain shit that just. It don't matter. It just doesn't matter. You just gotta have that mentality. Now some siblings they don't. They just gonna go along and live their fucking life. But I'm not that one. I'm gonna make sure they good regardless.
For sure. Audience out there, world, talk to us. Are you only child? You got any siblings? Tell us your thoughts on what we talked about today.
And if you got siblings, tag them in this video.
And always remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification.
Period.
And Baby D, take us out with the song of the day.
Today we got personal favorite, Young Boy, Lonely Child.
I'm just a lonely child.
Who wants someone to
Have
help
him
him
out.
Oh,
Gotta take this pain away. Pain away.
My thoughts are running wild.
Oh.
I don't know about the time.